All right, everybody, we're back once again. It's Wednesday. What is today? June 25th. And we're doing something a little bit different. Last several weeks we've been doing Final Fantasy Commanders, but we're gonna try and not do that again. Give it a little rest. We're gonna do something a little bit different instead. You may notice this card right here, Merfolk Tunnel-Guide. You may be asking yourself, I've never heard of this card before. That's because it technically, doesn't really exist. This is an arena-only alchemy card. Every set that comes out, they has like a corresponding alchemy release. It's like a handful of cards, and some of them are uncommon, some of them are uncommon creatures. And the reason why these are not legal is because they're an arena-only product, online only, and they have a lot of mechanics which only really function properly in the arena client. It requires a lot of like weird tracking things, like cards in your hand being permanently augmented by certain effects, stuff that like doesn't really track to paper gameplay. But some of them are actually quite reasonable, including Merfolk Tunnel-Guide. And I wanted to pick this one for a couple reasons. First, because it's a really cool Rule Zero option that not a lot of people think about. People usually think about things like, oh, I'm going to have an uncommon, enchantment as my commander. I'm going to have a planeswalker as my commander. I'm going to have all these things as my commander. They never think about something like this. This one in particular, as you'll see, is like very, very easily playable in paper. Second, it is a Merfolk, and it is Simic Merfolk. I really like Merfolk in this format. I really enjoy Simic Merfolk. I really like blue creature Kindred decks because I get to play a lot of cards I really enjoy. And Merfolk is a really cool creature type to play around in. There's a lot of great stuff in there. And with Merfolk, like I have a Mara Reach deck. It's mono blue Merfolk, but this one adding green lets you do a lot more cool things. And it's just got cool art and stuff. I really like this card. It's really neat. It lets me do a lot of things that I like to do. That's how we're going to do it today, just to kind of demonstrate like a good example of a good Rule Zero commander from like a product that not many people think of because they immediately disregard it as something that's not workable in paper. But some of them very much are, and you'll see why in a second. So this is a 2/2 for 2 Simic colors Merfolk Wizard. When it enters, you get a 3-time boon. I'll explain what that is in a second. With whenever one or more Merfolk enter the battlefield, target Merfolk you control explores. So exploring is awesome. There's not a really good explore commander in the format right now. There's a legendary creature that cares a lot about explore, but there's just not enough support for it. There's only a handful of cards that let you explore in Simic. So I really like exploring, and this commander lets me do that a lot. A boon basically is a 3-time instance of this effect occurring. It's kind of like an emblem. It's not interactable. It kind of exists off to the side. It's like a delayed trigger that you kind of track separately. So like you can easily represent this with like an Infinite token. You just write boon on it, and you put a die on it at 3, and then you kind of tick it down as you go. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you once again. But yeah, boons are generally like this is one of the most easy like alchemy things to track in paper, which is why like it's kind of a perfect fit. And you'll see like once we goldfish, I'll like use different things to track it and use counters and stuff like that. Very, very easy. But we get to make a really cool Merfolk Kindred deck with a really unique ability. And here we go. So first thing, as with any blue Kindred deck, I care about a handful of card draw spells that are actually very, very powerful, especially Kindred decks that want to be attacking. Most of them do in this format. So for Merfolk Tunnel-Guide, we want things like Keep Watch, which is kind of a well-known quantity, a 3-mana instant, draw card for each attacking creature. So we attack with 4 creatures, we draw 4 cards. We can use it on our opponent's attack steps or ours, depending on like how many cards we want to get out of it, or what's more advantageous at the time. But usually this is like a draw 4, draw 5, generally speaking. We also want Distant Melody, which is like the classic blue Kindred draw spell. You just choose your creature type and you draw cards equal to that creature type that you have. For creature decks that have a lot of creatures, which this one's going to have a very high density of creatures, we want something like Shared Discovery is one that I really like. It's a 1-mana blue spell. Yeah, Bill, there are definitely other ones that when you look at them and kind of think about the logistics, they're actually pretty reasonable. This is one that's by far my favorite, though. What was I saying? Oh, Shared Discovery. So this is what Ancestral Recall, basically, but you have to tap 4 creatures to cast it. Like drawing 3 cards for 1 mana is really great, and taking a turn off with tapping it down some of your itty-bitty Merfolk to cast a spell is very reasonable. And then there is Ghastly Discovery. This is one that I don't think a lot of people really think about. It's really only good in decks that are very heavily based in blue. Even though this card is a Simic card, most of our creatures are going to be blue creatures, which is what makes this card good. So it's a 3-mana sorcery, draw 2, discard. So it's like a catalog, but a little bit worse. But it has Conspire. So as you cast it, you can tap 2 untapped creatures that share a color with the spell. So 2 untapped blue creatures along with casting it, and then you get to copy it. So it's a draw 4, discard 2 for 3 mana. I like this card a lot, actually. I think it's really cool. And it's really good in blue-based creature decks, I think. I play it in pretty much all of them that I have. So these are like kind of the core of what I like to be doing in like go wide kindred creature decks. Just because the way that the card pool is structured, they tend to lean very aggressive. That's right. It's only illegal if they catch you. You could like easily order like a very reasonable looking proxy of this card. Like there's tons of services you can order proxies online. Get one of these. I actually have one because I thought about building this deck a while ago. See, there it is. But I haven't built it yet, so I'm doing it right now. Okay, so we're starting with these 4. And now we're just going to go into the Merfolk here and see what we got. I'm going to order it by mana value just because, as you all know, I like to err towards the lower on the mana value. I like to play decks that put a lot of things on the board at a relatively decent clip. So there's some that are better than others here. Let's just see. First one comes down to Jade Bearer. So this is not a good turn 1 play, but it's a good like turn 3 play. It's a good for double spelling. 1 mana 1/1 when it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on another target Merfolk. So this card's pretty good. I like that one. Jade Bearer. We'll start there. There's a lot of good 1 mana Merfolk. They are almost all in my Mirror Readery deck, but there's a handful that are going to be good in this deck too. Things with evasion I really like because the Explorer lets you grow your creatures, right? You look at the top card. If it's a land, you draw it. If it's not a land, you can choose to put it in the graveyard or leave it on top, but the creature gets a 1/1 counter. So you're kind of naturally going to grow your creatures. So things with evasion, like even Merfolk Spy with Island Walk, I think is pretty reasonable. Because it's going to be able to hit somebody, generally speaking. Merfolk, probably Merfolk Spy. Yeah, there we go. Mystical Herald is another one. It's just unblockable 1/1. Mystical Herald. Secret Sunlight's another great one. It's just a 1/1 for 1 that you can pay mana into it to explore, which is a really powerful ability. Like a really good mana sink if you flood out. We may dip a little bit into Changelings. Some of them are actually pretty good. Agnostic of like what creature type you're going for. Triton Shorestalker is another unblockable one. And we're not like trying to go like make it like a sly deck or anything, right? Like we're not trying to kill people by turn 3 with combat damage, but we definitely want to have like a decent amount of low mana value plays that we can easily double spell, deploy multiple things, play creatures, leave mana for interaction, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go into the 2s here. Arctic Merfolk is going to be great because this is a kicker of returning a creature to our hand, so we can reset our Tunnel-Guide. So when this enters, we get the boon. It has three triggers, and then it's done. So we need a way to recast it, and Arctic Merfolk is a perfect way to do that. Let's see. I don't think we're going to have a density of spells enough to reasonably play an Augur Bolus. Coral Helm Guide is not bad. I may come back to this one. Just as like being able to make a thing unblockable even if it is 5 mana is pretty good. Darting Merfolk is actually like surprisingly very, very powerful. It's really good in my Mirror Readery deck, and I think it's quite good here. It just lets you bounce itself to here. So if you want to get like multiple explore triggers, like you want to try and like find multiple lands off the top or mill cards off the top of your library, obviously you're not like making use of the counters that come along with exploring, but you can see the cards on top of your deck by just playing Darting Merfolk, bouncing it, recasting it, etc. to use up your boon triggers. And it's just like dodges removal and stuff like that, like basic like self-bounce stuff, functionalities. Deep Root Warrior 2/2. This is a grizzly bear that gets bigger if you block it. I like that. That's pretty cool. This is a good like solid aggressive creature. For Blue Kane's Island Walk, this is another maybe. I don't like having to pay mana into it, you know, it kind of sucks. Gaia's Skyfolk is great. Just the OG. 2/2 for 2 with flying. Just a classic. Gilgrove Stalker actually I think is quite good too. It can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. If you put 1 counter on this thing, it can't be blocked by anything that can kill it individually, which is quite good. It's like some decent evasion there. Grey Harbor Merfolk is an obvious one. If you control your commander, it becomes a 2/3 and it's unblockable. Otherwise, it's a 0/3. But as long as you're a commander, and our commander is like not like a must kill, so like it's pretty reasonable, I think, to like have Grey Harbor Merfolk and expect it to be unblockable and a 2-power creature. Kinseekers maybe. I like that card a lot, and we may just get there. It depends on how glutted I am at 4. I don't like stacking my curve really high at the top end like that, like 4s and 5s. So we'll see how much I end up with. Got a kindred or a kinship spell. No, that's not that good. We could do Merfolk Leader and Merfolk Pupil are pretty good. I do like Merfolk Traders, honestly, but we'll skip that one. River Herald Scout's a good one. River Herald Scout is just a 2-mana 1/2 that explores on its own. So this one would conceivably get us 2 explore triggers. It's a base 1/2. The card's not bad. Sahagin, you need to cast 4 mana spells to buff it. Again, this is like a maybe. Shaper Apprentice is a great one. Just a classic like Welkin turn, you know, just a 2/1 flyer for 2. If you control another Merfolk, it gains flying. 2/1 for 2, yeah. This card's pretty good. I have it in other decks too. It performs a lot better than you'd think. Not going to play the Stony Brook Banneret is a great one because it reduces the cost of our Merfolk, which is sick. Kicked, returns to sorcery. We'll play the Prowess thing maybe. Yeah, it's not very compelling. Let's keep going. We're going to play Waterfront Bouncer. I like that one a lot. Again, like this is just another thing that can bounce our own creature, or we can bounce other people's creatures. Whirlpool Rider is a sweet one, but I don't think we're doing that in this deck. Okay, 3 mana spells. Jungleborn Pioneer is good. This one gives us 2 creatures for 3 mana, and the token is hexproof, which is sick. Library Larcenist, another great one. When it attacks, we draw a card. A lot of the good Merfolk are like 2 and 3. There are like a handful of good ones at 4 too, but not too many. I can think off the top of my head anyway. Coralsmith I actually think is quite good. I played a couple of these in like the Wild Teledrain pre-release, and it just like people had a hard time dealing with this card. So I'm just gonna play that one here. Merfolk, Coralsmith. If it dies, we scry 2, and it's kind of like pumpable. It has that plus power minus toughness ability. Let me set the viewing here. Visual spoiler, sort of mana value. Okay. Yeah, so it can get +1, -1. It's 2/3 for 3, and then we can, when it dies, it scries, which rhymes, which is cool. I like that card. Next one, Triton is a Bestow. This is interesting, having a Bestow. Paperfin Rascals, Clash. Don't really be interested in that. Prism Wake, Marrow. No. Quantic Splurge Mage, I like. We'll play that one. I mean, I don't know how many spells I'm going to be playing though. I just like Quantic Splurge Mage in general. I just like the card. I wish there were an allegorical or equivalent like card out uncommon to this. There really isn't one. I would play it in a heartbeat. I really like Spell Slinger, tempo-y Civic decks. River Herald Guide is another explore creature. It's a 3/1 Vigilance base. It gets a counter if you explore a non-land card. What was the card called? River Herald Guide, yeah. Already up to 20, so it's definitely not going to be hard to get up to like at least 30-35 cards. And we got some good ones coming up here, like Scroll Thief is a perfect one. It's one of my favorite cards. Streambed Aquatex is another great one. This can give a creature, it gives a Merfolk +1/+1 an island walk, or you can make something an island. So you can, turn your opponent's lands into islands if you want to. I mean, I've done that. It cuts people off color sometimes. But it can also just make your thing unblockable, or pump it. Like, this card's got a lot of utility. Deshaun's Wayfinder is a great one, just another explore creature, just kind of what we're in the business for. Sea Scavenger, Water Travel Weaver, is a great one. This is it like freezes a creature, ETB freeze a thing. Tap doesn't untap. It doesn't stun counters, but it prevents it from untapping on the following turn. Another great tempo card. And Waterwind Scout is another perfect one. This is a Windrake that makes a map when it enters, which just lets you explore more, right? Map, pay 1, tap, sacrifice it, target creature explores. And you can target the creature you want to explore too. That's the great thing about this boon is whenever a Merfolk enters, you can choose what creature you want to explore. So you can pile counters conceivably on specific things that you want. It's not necessarily tied to the creature that enters, which is pretty good. All right, now we're going to go to the 4s. 4 mana 2/2, you can make it unblockable. 4 mana 2/2 is not really where I want to be. We're not really doing party stuff, right? Got some warriors, got some rogues. I mean, we could. I don't think it's very good though. There's a 3/2 flyer for 3, so it's like decent stats. If you control another wizard when it dies, draw a card. That's not bad. I do like me a phantom monster. And if it dies, we draw. That's pretty cool. Jade Guardian 3. Here's another 4 mana 2/2. This one is hexproof though, and it gives a counter on something. I like that one. That pushes it over for me, I think. Jade. What is it called? Jade Guardian. The hexproof I think is a lot better than like an activated ability because it's unblockable. So an enters target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I don't really care about that. Levitator I love. Mirror Levitator is just like sneaky amazing. 4 mana 2/3, tap to get a creature flying, and then when you cast a blue spell, you untap it. This is like one of the best cards in my Mirror Reachery deck, but that one's mono blue, so obviously like it goes off the rails a little bit better. This one has a lot of green cards, but it's pretty sick. Saltwater Stalwart, I like too. And then the other one that off the top of my head that I know I want is Storm Sculptor, because this is another one that bounces a creature that we control, so we can rebuy our commander. And it's a 3/2 unblockable creature for 4, which is definitely in the realm of what I want to do here. I'm just really bad at looking at like finding creatures, using searches and things. I know there's a way to do it in Moxfield. I'm not smart enough and I don't care enough to do it. Okay, let's see. We could go up to like Salvager and Shipwreck Dowser. We may. What are we at? We're at 29, so it's not that bad. Let's try and get like maybe 6 more, and I'd rather they be kind of lower on the curve. What's our distribution like? So we've got 11 2s, 10 3s. Okay. Let's find, before we go back to this, let's get changelings. Let's see what they're. We'll probably want what the 1/3 that disenchants. Probably want that one. Guardian Gladewalker is good. Mistwalker I like because it flies. Kinseekers might not get there for me this time. All right, let's put Guardian Gladewalker. Let's get our Masked Vandal. You know, I kind of like Moth's Changeling, if I'm being honest. I won't do it. That's a little self-indulgent. I won't do it. 3-Tree Mascot might not be that bad because it helps us filter our mana. Not like we have a lot of mana problems, but it's definitely like something that helps. Mistwalker is one that I kind of like. 1/4 for flying for 3. That might be all we want though. None of these are like stand out to me other than like these two, just because we're gonna have like a mild 1/1 counter theme because of the Explorer and some other things, and this is just like a really great utility creature. So with that, let's go back to the Merfolk here. We have like enough Merfolk playables that I don't think we need to like dig too deep into the changelings. Okay. All right, now we'll start going through a little bit. Manta Riders. I don't think we need a whole lot of 1s, just because like our commander comes down on 2. It's good to have 1s like so we play our commander on 2, turn 3, we can cast a 1 and a 2. That would be the situation that I'd want more of them. But I think I do want where are they? Merfolk Traders and Vidalian Merchant. They're functional reprints of each other. So it's 1 mana, 2 mana, 1/2 ETB loot 1, which is I like. It's just a free card, and it's got a second point of toughness, which I like, and it carries counters. It just like helps you see more cards, and you can stack your triggers such that like you can explore, leave something on top, and then draw it with the merchant. And by that logic, I kind of also want to include Merfolk people because this one also enters and loots. You also exile from your graveyard to loot as well. Just like some decent cards. Sword 34. Probably a Merfolk looter. Like this stuff that just pulls stuff off the top of our library is pretty good. Not the ones I have to pay for. I don't want to have to pay 2 mana for it. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, Whirlpool Rider is cool, but I don't think I care that much about Whirlpool Rider. Don't really want to clash. Pinger is cool, but not that interested. Maybe we'll play the Nyxborn Triton just as like a creature / aura. I like that functionality. It's pretty good. Prison Wake Marrow has flash. I'm sure there's something we can do with flash. Let's play that one. Like Flash Explorer, we could do that. That sounds cool. All right, so now we've got 5, 17, 11. Okay, so we got like a decent curve here. All right, so 36. Let's start there. If we want to add another creature, we can. I've got what, 4 4s? Yeah, we'll play Kenseeker. This is just gonna be like a 3/5 scry 1. And since we're doing a lot of counter stuff, we can play like some decent proliferate cards with other functionalities, like Experimental Augury. Like cards that even if we're not like proliferating a bunch of stuff, they're still like pretty good. Like this one's just like an Anticipate that proliferates for free. Thirsting Roots is another one that I like, just because it gets us a land, also can proliferate. We don't need to like go too hard into the proliferate stuff. Just like a little bit, I think, is fine. Okay. So let's look at cards that care about Merfolks now. Merfolk. Merfolk. Pretty much got most of the ones. River Herald's Boon, 2-mana instant, puts counters on 2 things. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Got our Aquatex. We could just play Repulse instead of Crashing Tide, and it's always live, so this card's not that great. Aquatex does count as a Merfolk, so it will trigger this. Because it is a Merfolk. But I don't think we want that. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Now we just get to fill stuff out a little bit. I'm going to be exploring... What kind of utility cards do we want to put in here? What route do we want to go? Let's look at the rest of the proliferate stuff. I don't really care about like the creatures as much. Like the spells that just give... Oh, Courage and Crisis is awesome. This card's just like kind of sick. It puts a counter on something and then you proliferate, so it puts 2 counters on one thing and 1 counter on other things. It just adds a lot of power. A lot of power. We could play Guild Pact Informant and Thrumming Bird. Just like repeatable. Yeah, let's do that. There's like the stuff that's functional or like the repeatable stuff is good. Contentious Plan is a little weak. I think this is fine. Oh, gotta drink my Coke Zero. Okie dokie, and we're back. Okay, what are we at? We're at 48. Let's throw some forests and islands in here. We're at like 80 something cards. Let's do 36 lands. All right, 84. Let's get, what's the word I'm looking for? Flicker spells. Because flickering our commander will reset our boon. We want to be able to do that. Blur is great. Blur is just 3 mana, flicker a thing, draw a card. Cantrips, awesome. We could also blur like our own creatures and get, you know, more triggers and more boons that or more boon triggers that way. I don't really want to play Displace and Ghostly Flicker. We'll play Essence Flex though. This is a new one, Downshifted and Innistrator Master. Just a 1 mana, just like a Cloud Shift in blue. Cares about spirits, but you know, we're not really doing spirit stuff. But it's cool if you are doing spirit stuff, you can use that card. Planar Incision. Teferi's Time Twist will probably play 2. Even though it's delayed, that's the only thing I don't like about that card, but... Oh, I guess we have Siren's Roost too. Yeah, let's do that. Like these have all kinds of like little riders. Like someone cares if you exile a pirate, you get to draw a card. Time Twist cares about like it can exile anything, so like a planeswalker, but it's delayed. But I like that card, so we're gonna play Teferi's Time Twist. Boop. And that's it. Okay. So we're good there. Interaction. Actually, you know what we'll do first is... I should probably play like a handful of removal spells. We'll just do like the classics. We don't really need to get too fancy here. We'll just play like some tempo-oriented stuff. Like Blink of an Eye. You know, just like the usual suspects. I think these cards are just like really good. Just they're one size fits all. They just bounce a permanent, kick or draw a card. Simple stuff. Oh, other good ones are going to be Run Away Together and Heal from Reality. We can also play Withdraw. These cards all kind of do a similar thing. Withdraw is like a good example, so we'll talk about this one. It's blue-blue. The other ones are blue colorless. But return target creature to its owner's hand, then you return another creature to its owner's hand, also control pays 1. So this is functionally similar. The way we're going to use it in much the same way that like we're going to use Peel from Reality or to Run Away Together to bounce an opponent's creature and bounce our commander to reset our boon. So for example, we target our opponent's creature with like the first target spell to bounce, and then the additional creature, unless its controller pays 1, we target our thing. We don't pay the 1. It comes back to our hand. Run Away Together does a very similar thing. Choose 2 creatures by 2 different players. They both get bounced. Peel from Reality is a little more direct. It bounces an opponent's thing and bounces one of our things. Return target creature. Let's see what else is here. Oh, Applied Biomancy. This is a really cool card. It's a really cool combat trick. It's very much like not powerful enough to include in a deck like this or most decks. It's just kind of super niche. It's a limited card, like even more so than like the rest of the cards in this format. But it's cool. You get to do 2 things: pump a thing, bounce a thing. It's pretty sick. I wish the shark was a Merfolk. Bounce off. There's a handful of 1 mana bounce spells. We may use 1 or 2 of them. Oh, this one makes a map. If a thing was tapped, we want that. Brackish Blunder. Call to Heal. This can bounce like one of our things and we draw a card. There's a couple cards that do this. Yeah, I think those we have are better. I don't want to go like too hard. I've got an itch in my ear. One sec. That's better. Evolution Charm. Official Witness. It's not a Merfolk, so we can't play it. Sorry to say. Ice Magic. I like Ice Magic. Not in this deck, but I think it's really cool. Really great card. Really cool stuff. Recalibrate, run creature, discard a card, draw a card. Nope. Not doing that. Seal of removal. Yeah, like seal of removal is like an enchantment on summon. Select for inspection, just bounces a tapped creature, but you scry, which is pretty neat. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything that I actually want to play. So we've got plenty of time. It's only 7:30. Unexplained disappearance, turn creature surveil. I like that. I like that. Vapor Snag's one of my favorites. Bounce a creature, they lose a life. It's insult to injury there. You know, it's always fun. Okay, you come to a river, bounce a permanent, or make a thing unblockable. We'll play that one. Like, we're gonna have like a bunch of, I think, reasonably sized creatures. Maybe like, you know, 3/3, 4/4s. Maybe just like making one of them unblockable in a game every once in a while. Okay. These 96 cards. You know what we need is we need a, well, I guess we have a fair amount of green creatures. So like Sunken City is not going to be like max value. How many greens? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what we'll do is we'll do Crown of Ascension. We'll do Sky Shaper, just things to like just get in there. Sky Shaper is 2-mana artifact. It was downshifted in one of the Magic Online sets. Sacrifice it, all creatures can fly, so you can just fly over for an Alpha Strike. Crown of Ascension is very similar, except it's an aura that you sacrifice to give all enchanted creature and all creatures that share creature type flying until end of turn. It's like these cards are quite good. We'll probably want You Meet in a Tavern as just like primary functionality is going to be give creatures +2/+2. I mean, we can use it. It's card draw mode to draw a card here or there. Maybe we'll add. Let's get a 40th creature in here. Let's get a 40th creature. Creature number 40. What are you going to be? Maybe Caller of Gales. Or where's that one that gives... Oh no, Expedition Diviner. We'll do that one. Just like a good attacker. Okay. So what are we looking at here? We got kind of curve there. Okay. All right. So that's decent. Let's take this in and actually we're going to want to adjust our lands here. So we're at what? 70, 77%, 27%. Okay. So we'll just cut some of these forests. Add some islands. Okay, this is fine. All right, let's deal hand. Oh, lands. Okay. Don't have any creatures, but whatever. Whatever. Gonna draw. Play an island. Next turn. Okay, still not getting lands. That's fine. Merfolk Tunnel-Guide. There's a commander, and let's make a infinite token. I don't know how to draw on it. Add a token. Boon. Drawing with my mouse right now. Boon. And we'll add some counters. 3 counters. Oh yeah, Over the Edge. Forgot about that one. Yeah, once we go back to edit, I'll add that one out. I like that card. Alright, there's a creature. So now we get to do some exploring. Here's the Drunken War Pioneer. Enters, makes a Merfolk. I'm going to target... So we're going to do this trigger first. To make the token, and then the Explore trigger, and then another Explore trigger. So we're going to target this Merfolk with both Explore triggers. So we're going to the top. It's a land, goes to our hand. You know, the top. It's a Prison Wake Marrow. We'll put that back on top, and we'll put the counter on this. I guess you 2. And that's 2 boons. Gone. Move a counter. Move counter. Sorry, 1. Next turn. I'm going to get that Marrow. And we already have a couple of Flicker spells, so we can just like keep doing this. Marrow. Remove a counter. Island goes our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Let's go to next turn. Boop. Now we can start flicker this guy. Whoops. Do a planar incision on him. Boop, he's back. Enters with a counter from the incision. And we get more counters on this. Now we got 3 more. We can cast, like, leave out River Herald Spoon, so we can do this. Cast River Herald Spoon, put a counter on Jungleborn Pioneer, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what we can do is just put both of them on this, because it's on target creature and up to 1 target Merfolk, which is this. So 2 counters. So I just have a 4/4 hexproof creature, which is like pretty decent. And next turn, we're just drawing a lot of lands here. Let's just here discovery. We'll tap this, 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 this. We'll draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. All right, Aquatex is great. Get explore. Counter on it. Leave that one on top. And we can bounce a thing. Let's say we bounce like one of their creatures on that step, whatever. We lose a counter here. Got another creature. Gonna play another land. Deeper Warrior. Let's do it again. Discard. And leave it on top. All right. This gets a counter. So like you see, like we get to see a lot of cards, which I like. And then we have like a reasonably sized this. This can tap to make this bigger. We can like go all in on the hexproof token. We can like go all in on this guy because he's a big old beater. Like we run out of things, we just flicker this guy again. Comes back down. We draw a card. Get our boon up. Now next turn, have another creature. Yeah, we just only have like a steady stream of creatures here. Explore into the royal, put on the yard. Yeah, this is fine. This is fun. I'm not sure how like super powerful this strategy is, but it's fun. You just get to play a lot of creatures and put counters on them, and they'll cut a lot of cards. Oh, we got the little hiccups there. Okay, so let's see. We will play. No, we'll cut the Brackish Blunder, and we'll play Over the Edge instead. I should probably just like looked at the other cards that explore. I wonder what else there is here that explores. There's a handful of creatures. Yeah, we got the Merfolk, so that's Over the Edge. There's some other good ones, but not really what I'm in the market for here. Okay, so we're back to 100 cards. Let's give it another shot. Okay, got some creatures. So we've got a 2, 3, 4, and a Proliferate. So this is like a pretty decent hand, actually. This is pretty good. So we're going to start drawing a card, and that's a great one. Okay, so we're going to play Island and Pass. That's a good card too, especially when we're trying to beef up our like card draw creatures. There's the guy. Here's our boon. Put counters on it. And then next turn, can do that. 1, 2, 3. Play this Library Larcenist. We'll explore on the Library Larcenist. Draw a card. Great. Next turn, we'll cast this guy. We'll explore again. We'll leave that one on top. Put a counter on this. And I mean, if I was paying more attention, I'd probably like. Let's do it this way. Let's have this one explore, because I keep forgetting you can actually target what you want to explore. You can target any Merfolk to explore. So now this is a 2/3. It's like a much more reasonable attacker, and then we can go to combat. Draw that. Next turn. Okay, darting Merfolk's interesting. So we've got like some good stuff going on here. Don't want to play this because we only have 1 boon thing left. So let's just cast this Prism Wake Marrow. You know what we'll do is we'll just like go to combat, boom, boom. Let's see, draw 2 cards. 1, 2, 3. You got 9. Go play Darting Merfolk. Let's just do that, and we'll target this to explore. So we'll tap. Land goes our hand. Great. That's our last one. All right, so let's go to discard. We'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this. And now we've got 7, like a good 7. On an end step, what we can do is we can either bounce, or we can flicker, or we can proliferate. We don't think proliferating is that good here because we only have one counter to do it with. So let's just end step, we'll incision our commander. So he's back. Boom, got a counter. And we got 3 more in here. All right. Other one. And now we can cast our Jungleborn Pioneer. Make a token. And now we're going to target the Merfolk token with both of the boons. So we're going to remove 2 counters here. Explore. Goes land over hand, explore, land around. Jesus, we're kind of drawing a lot of lands. Maybe I can cut a land because we see so many cards. Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut a forest. And let's... You know what I'm also going to do is the proliferate doesn't seem that compelling to me. So we're just going to cut this Thirsting Roots. I still like Experimental Augury because it lets us anticipate, which is not bad. Thirsting Roots just gets us a land though, and I don't really care about that, I think. So we've got 2 cards. Let's see if they're... Let's look at some good +1/+1 counter cards. There's going to be a ton of these things, you know. Just trying to get an idea if there's any ones that are just like good cards, you know. Good cards that care about counters. Bioshift's funny. You can just move them around. There's a couple like good fight spells that care about counters. But, you know, our creatures are kind of small, so draw 2 cards, put a counter on a creature. This is interesting. It's an interesting one. Dreadland Norm, for dominance. Yeah, I mean, not the most compelling card. I guess Enclave Elite's an interesting one because it's got kicker. 5 mana, 3/3 island walk. Let's play Enclave Elite. Let's get that one here. Because this is something, again, that we can like level up. Or not level up, the multi-kicker. There's level up Merfolk though. Maybe we want to play that one. Anyway, let's finish going. I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. I'm going to try not to anyway. Forced Adaptation. These cards are good. Gaze Gift and Gift of the Viper. I like those ones. Hunger the Howlpack, Hunter's Edge. Hunt the Weak. Ivory Denizen, not the best here, as much as I hate to say it. Maybe we'll play like Jungle Delver, or just put counters on it for 4 mana. It's not the worst. And it's just like another creature. I love creatures, you know. Can't have too many of those. Oh, this is kind of like Courage and Crisis. But maybe play that one. Oh, Master Chef. There we go. That's easy. Master Chef is exactly what we want. Okay. Maybe I'll cut Enclave Elite if I find something that I like better. I mean, we could just play Nyxborn Hydra. It's just like too good to not include, right? Like Nyxborn Hydra and Colossal Dread Mask. Yeah, let's cut the... No, I want to be a Merfolk deck. But I also have these Proliferate cards. Yeah, let's cut this Thrumming Bird. We'll cut this Informant. Let's get a Dread Mask. This card is just too good. And I don't think... We're not going to do Nyxborn Hydra. We're going to show some restraint. We're not going to play Nyxborn Hydra in our Merfolk deck. As much as I might want to. What spells do I have? So this is a 4 mana spell, 4 mana. These are 4 mana kicked. Yeah, not very much to, like, justify the Sahagin, I think. Maybe we should just play Explore. Explore is just a great card. Like the card Explore, like draw a card, play an extra land. I like that card. Maybe we'll do that. Just a lot of options, you know. Thrive is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of like interesting things here. I don't really want the ones, you know, +1/+1 counters of trample. It's not as reliable as I thought. Mostly just because, like, you know, we've been probably just getting unfortunate draws with the amount of lands that we've been finding, but you know, the odds are, you know, certainly what they are. What are we at? 99. So, what did I say I liked? I like Thrive. I like. Oh, let's play Scaled Heights. Yeah, Bill, you're way ahead of me there, bud. I like Scaled Heights. This is just a good bread and butter card. It's like Explore, but you put a counter on your thing and gain 2 life. Yeah, let's try that. See how that feels. Okay, got 2 lands, a creature, some spells. This is fine. Draw for turn. All right. 1, don't want to do anything. Turn 2. Play our friend. Make our token. Make our boon token. Put some counters on it. Okay. Got 3. Definitely. Actually, what I'll do is I'll hold this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, I will anyway because it's better that way. Okay, so we're gonna play this. We're going to explore first and then do our draw trigger. So we have Merfolk Teferi's Time Twist, which is not bad. Yeah, let's draw this, and we'll discard this card of Ascension. It's not gonna be good for a long time. All right, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna pay 3. I just need a land. I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna. Oh, and this gets a counter because we explored. LOL. All right, now we're gonna explore with this land. Not the one I want, but you know, it is what it is. Next turn. All right, now we've got 1 more boon, and we can cast Lincoln Seekers. Let's do that. This gets to do us a few things. So we can scry first, and then this enters with a counter on its trigger, and then we scry. So let's resolve the scry first. Oof, yeah, let's go on the bottom. And then put a counter on this. And then we'll explore, put another counter on it, and we'll leave this. Yeah, we'll leave this on top. This will help us find a land at the very least. And then next turn, we'll cast Augury, so we'll put the top 3. Are you serious? How's there only 1 island in the top, like 15 cards? I guess I'll keep the forest and put these on the bottom. And then we proliferate, so get another counter here, counter there. We can play this, and we can scale the heights. Let's put a counter on this. Gain 2 life, and then draw a card and play additional land. Oh, thank God. Okay. All right, now we can even do. Yeah, let's cast this. And this is. Oh, my boon is gone. LOL. Yeah, we're sure discovery. Draw 3. All right, now we're in good shape. Even though we keep drawing forest for some reason. See, now we can reset our boon. We have access to like 2 good draw spells, and we have 3 good creatures. So the first thing we need to do is reset our commander. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna blur it. So enters comes back. This gets more counters. And draw a card. Banneret is sick, actually. We're gonna take a turn off to deploy the Banneret. Next turn we do some crazy shit. Actually, we can just do this now for 1 green. Put a counter on this because I don't want this. I don't think get this into like out of range of things. Is oh yeah, obviously Path of Ancestry is going to go in the deck. I just haven't done lands yet, so make sure the deck works before I start putting in lands. Yeah, this is fine. Next turn, another island is just what I need. All right, so now we can cast this for 3. 1, 2, 3. Get this solved. Oh, I guess we get to boon these 2. So I would have drawn that this turn. This would have gone to my hand. This would have been the next thing to explore. I leave, put this on, put that in graveyard. So this is what I would have drawn for turn, and this would get a counter. Okay, I think it's retroactively fixing my errors. So it should have one counter left. Let's just get this Master Chef out there now. Let's just get some Mystical Carol. So this is going to enter with a counter from here. We're going to explore. Forest goes to hand. And then next turn. Alright, so we're going to multi. Actually, what we'll do, because I had 2 mana up at the on someone else's turn, we're going to cast this so it enters before we untap. So all right, back at 3. Okay, and then we go. So pay 1 mana, we do this. We're going to target our banneret. An Explorer. Grab Merfolk, we'll leave that one on top. Oops, hello. Put a counter on this. We'll 1, 2, 3, cast Saltwater Stalwart. We'll explore again, targeting Mystical Carol. Yep, leave that same card, so, yep. And then we can do a couple things. Let's cast Ghastly Discovery. I want to show how good this card is. Okay, so we're going to cast Ghastly Discovery. We're going to tap 2 things that we don't care about. Valley Merchant, Guardian Gladewalker. Actually, we can't cast the green card. We'll tap our commander. And then we draw 2, discard this, and then we draw 2, and we discard. I kind of like this. Actually, I like this one too. I like this one too. The Merfolk. Because this we can all just like do on our next turn. In fact, we can even cast this now and just like put a counter on the unblockable thing. And next on enters, and all these things enter with additional counters, by the way, from our Master Chef. And then this would be another Explorer, which would have been this, which we'd keep on top, which puts another counter on this, which means that we draw this for turn. And now we can just like play Sky Shaper, give our entire board +2/+2, and then alpha, right? That's pretty cool. This feels fun. Let's do some lands real quick, and then we'll wrap it up here. We'll just throw Path of Ancestry in now, because obviously we're going to be playing Path of Ancestry. We can play some tap lanes because we're not looking to like go super on curve, right? We're not going like 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. We have a little flexibility in what we're doing. So we can play things like Quandrix Campus, some tap lands, like duels. We could play. We're gonna play Command Tower. You know, I mean, I guess this doesn't matter, right? Because with Explore, we get to put stuff in the graveyard if we want anyway, so we're not like we don't have to like clear off the top of our library with these things. So I don't really care about those. We'll get like the typed duels. Let's get an Opal Palace in there. I mean, Opal Palace is not going to be the best because we're going to be like flickering and bouncing our commander a lot, but at least like while our commander's on the board, we'll have like 1 or 2 counters and can attack, which ain't bad. And if we're recasting our commander a bunch, Study Hall is going to be pretty sick because we're going to be able to just like scry over and over. It's like another scry land. Quandrix Campus is another scry land, just a repeatable scry effect. Do I even like care about playing Tangled Islet and the other one, the snow one? I don't think I do, honestly. Like, I don't need it. Roundwood Falls. Like, we've got, you know, 4 lands I could have for any color. And you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Roundwood Falls and Tangled Islet. But we don't need any more than that. And we're up to 107. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Got what? 76, 40. Yeah, this seems good. All right, let's take it for one more spin and then we'll call it a day. Quick Study. Why is that in the deck? What did I mean to put in the deck? And I ended up adding Quick Study. Oh, Study Hall is what I meant to put in. I misclicked. There we go. Figured it out. I'm just an idiot. Okay. All right. So we got 2 lands. We got an unblockable creature. We've got a 3-drop. Okay, this is fine. Draw. Oh, that makes it way better. Okay. So we're just gonna do this. Get this guy out there. Gonna cast this and get our boon. Okay. Now the land is good because now we can cast a 4-drop. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cast this for now. This is gonna add up. We need more islands, but it's good for now. We're gonna explore. We're gonna target Shorestalker. Urgent Crisis. It's a lot of power. I'll leave that on. Or Bennett. Bennett, I need to be responsible. I need a land. Alright, put a counter on this. Alright. Next turn. Okay. Tap land, not the worst. We can cast us a Scroll Thief. We're gonna target the Shorestalker again. Just like make our unblockable thing bigger. Time Twist is perfect. We will keep the Time Twist. Put a counter here, and then just keep attacking with this. Get our Time Twist. We could do. This is actually pretty good. We could do this. Watch. We could do 1, 2, 3. Because it costs 3 mana to cast a Storm Sculptor. We can do trigger. We'll explore first, and then we'll bounce this creature back to our hand. We'll target the Shorestalker. Merfolk Traders. Yes, I want more creatures, so we've got one on top. Put a counter here. Bounce this back to our hand. And we'll replay it next turn. And then we can attack. Let's say we get in with our Scroll Thief, draw a card. Play a land. It's pretty fun, kind of like think about the sequencing over ETB triggers, especially with this boon. So that would be the last one. So our boon is gone. Recast this, bump it back up to 3. And now we have 2 more things. We can cast both of these because Trader only costs 1. We'll just keep stacking on the Shorestalker. So what we'll do is we'll do the Explore first. I'll keep the boon on top. I just want to add more power to the board. And then this will enter, we'll draw a card, and we'll discard. I like these cards better. I don't know. I don't have a way to draw a lot more cards right now, so maybe I'll keep. You know, a show of no. We have to keep this card. Let's just get rid of this. No, this is the worst card. I don't know why I kept it on top. We're just gonna get rid of it. It's a blunder on my part. Okay, so that's our first boon off this. We're down to 2. We can recast this now. Do it again. This is fine. Okay. So we got one more thing there. Let's cast this. And now we just have like 2 unblockable things that just keep crashing. And look, we're just going to draw into a bunch more stuff. All right, I'm satisfied. So hopefully you kind of get an idea of like where these alchemy cards are at. I think this, again, like this is a really good example of one that's like very easy to parse in paper, like on an actual table playing Magic. So like I said, I have a proxy of this card that I'm going to build into a deck. I may just port this list over. I'm probably going to work on it a little bit more if I want to do that, but this card's really cool. You just saw, just get like a token and you just count it as your boon, and then you just track it with counters or a die or whatever. Really easy, and it lets you kind of open up a really cool avenue for your Kindred decks, and kind of explore some cool mechanic in the Explore mechanic that you really don't have a ton of access to outside of, like a handful of cards that come in. We have most of them in this deck, like River Herald Scout and River Herald Guide. As always, link to the deck list can be in the description, along with the bookmark to all the other decks for the last however many months we've been doing this. All the deck lists are there. There's like 34 of them now. They're all there for you guys to do whatever you want with. Enjoy them, have fun. And also in the description, links to Trevor Project and Trans Lifeline donation pages. If you have the money and the means with which to donate to those organizations, please do. And that's all I have to say about that. So with that, I'll leave y'all. It's 7:59. It's going to turn 8 o'clock any second now, and that's when I got to go. So have a wonderful week. I'll see y'all next time. And find a cool alchemy commander and build it. It's cool rule zero. I can't see anyone having problems with it because it's fun and neat. Okay.